Well, hello there, people of the internet, and hello again. I'm TheMBmulti. Welcome to part 10 of My Doki Doki SNAFU. In the previous episode, I arranged a sort of a study date with Yuri, writing a book report together. And yeah, apparently Golden Week is coming up. I don't know what that means, but apparently I guess it has something to do with festivities or festivals. And Monika did mention that we were going to do something for the club. Oh yeah, it says right here. I didn't even pay attention to this. But today being the last day before Golden Week begins, I decided going to the club would be a good idea. Well, I wasn't going to the track club anyway. I've never... Other than the one time the game forced me to go there, I never went to the track team. The other girls are already standing in a circle near the teacher's desk when I arrive. Good, you came. Now that everyone's here, we can get started. Started on what exactly? Going over what we'll be doing over the break. Sayori's enthusiasm fills the room. Will the club be continuing to meet? Not exactly. We won't have any official meetings since the school's going to be closed. But we will be participating in a cultural appreciation event. Cultural appreciation? No offense, but doesn't that sound like a lame way to spend our holiday? I'm thinking it may be a little off in that regard. Oh, what does that mean? Monika looks at me with a cheeky smile on her face. Am I right in assuming that cultural appreciation event is exclusive lingo for attending a festival? Ding ding ding! Looks like our most junior member is already aware of us higher up is already aware of how us higher ups handle things. A festival? Why not just say that to begin with? Which sounds more official, attending a cultural appreciation event or having fun at a festival? Well, why did we got to sound official anyways? We gonna report it to the advisor or something? But of course, in order to make our club look more productive, taking part in extracurricular affairs is critical. Wouldn't want the faculty knowing we're just a bunch of slackers. Ow! Sayori jabs me in the ribs. We're not slackers. Our club's just too small to do much else. That's why we've got to be careful in how we handle things like this. Whoa, Sayori actually said something vice president-y. This must be serious. Hey, before you two get too derailed, let's go over the plan first. Right, I'm curious about that as well. Sayori and I have been deliberating on what exactly we should choose as our event, and we came up with an out-of-town festival being held on Children's Day. Children's Day? Wouldn't that be next Thursday? The goal of this meeting was to see if everyone would be available that day. I never usually do anything on Golden Week, so that's fine with me. Great! What about you, Yuri? My parents are taking me out of town on Sunday to spend time with relatives. We should be back before Thursday though. That's another one down, meaning all that's left is, all four girls are looking at me expectantly. You'll go too, won't you, Mark? Honestly, I normally never go out of my way to attend a festival, but if you want me to go, that's reason enough. Yay! Sayori immediately clings to me before jumping up and down. So what? He's only going because Sayori asked him to? Talking about not being committed. In relation to what Mark just said, I too would like to voice a concern. And what would that be? Well, it's just... I tend to have a hard time dealing with large groups, so I was curious if you knew how many people would be there. Come on, don't tell me you'd actually bail for a reason like that. No need to feel upset, Natsuki, that is a genuine concern. With the majority of people being off work or on holiday, getting stuck in large crowds will be a much more prominent issue. Yuri casts her eyes towards the floor as she begins imagining it. However, the town we're traveling to is fairly rural, with a population size much smaller than this one. You mean we'll be out in the boonies, whatever that means? Yeah, that's one way to put it. Part of the reason we chose this location in particular was because we wanted to avoid going anywhere that was too cramped. I see. That's quite a relief. How far away is this place exactly? 45 minutes by train, 30 by car. Well, I guess that's not too bad. Want to ask a question as well? Of course. What's on your mind? Why pick Children's Day? Assuming the festival is held during the event, we won't get home until late at night. What does that have to do with the other one? Where's Children's Day always celebrated in the evening or something? Is that what they mean? Well, that wouldn't be a problem if early in the week. School does start up again on Friday. What? Why the hell fuck does it start up again on Friday? What an odd day to start a week. You start a week, then you got a weekend, then you go continue with the rest of the week. School starts on fucking Mondays. That's odd. I see your points. You're saying it would be better to go on the nights where we don't have to worry about waking up early the next day. Something along those lines. You raise an excellent point. Tell me, Mark, do you know what usually happens when Golden Week ends on the Thursday? Nope, no idea. The answer is mass skipping. Mass skipping? What does that mean? Putting it simply, many students decide to not attend school the following Friday in order to give themselves an extended weekend. I see. So you're suggesting we should all skip together? Of course not! We actually chose it for the opposite reason. What do you mean? Going together the day before will make What? Going together the day before will make encouraging everyone not to miss much easier. Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Considering the day before will make encouraging everyone not to miss much easier. Fucking hell. Like Sayori mentioned earlier, we have to be careful with things that may reflect poorly on the club. So missing Friday could lead the advisor discovering that we're all just slacking off. Oh, slacking off? While your wording is disagreeable, it's possible they would get that idea, yes. Gotcha. No offense, but it kinda sounds like you don't trust us. I was afraid it would come across that way. So let's go down the line. Huh? Even though we aren't far into the semester, Sayori has already accumulated several tardies and a handful of absences. Monika? Sorry, but it is something we have to keep in mind. How about you, Mark? Speaking of honestly, would you come to school on Friday if not for any external responsibilities? No, not in a million years. And you, Natsuki? See, Yuri's the only one I could rely on. About that, she begins fidgeting with her hair. When this happened in middle school, my parents took the Friday so we could spend more time together. So I ended up skipping as well, and can't guarantee that won't happen again this year. Monika's shoulders full as she's left totally alone. Do I really need to argue my point anymore? I'm convinced. Sorry. Well, at least we're all on the same page. Is everyone okay with meeting on Thursday? You'll respond in agreement. Wonderful. Sayori will post the meeting place and time to the group chat over the weekend, which should give you a better idea of where we'll be going. Right. Are there any more questions before I set you loose? Having already covered all of the crucial information, Monika is met with silence. Still don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but alright. Well, righty then, the rest of the meeting is yours to spend as you please. With this, the four girls break into groups. This meeting was more animated than usual, as everyone continued discussing both the club's plan and Golden Week as a whole. Having heard some of the conversation, I learned Natsuki and Yuri planned on heading to the venture together. Meanwhile, Sayori proposed meeting up and spending time with Monika prior to next Thursday. This accidental eavesdropping comes to a halt when my phone lights up with a new notification. New message, Kiba. Can you meet me at the school entrance in 10 minutes? We've never met after school before, which makes me think he wants to talk about Golden Week. 10 minutes might be a problem though. There's 20 left in the meeting. Wonder if she'd let me leave early. Got a hot date? Monika appears directly behind me, as though having been summoned. That's quite the impeccable timing. You wouldn't happen to be the devil, would you? An excellent question. And then suddenly 2 horns grow out of her fucking head. So, what were you saying about leaving early? My friend wants to meet in front of the school soon. Oh, a confession maybe? Perhaps somebody who wants to spend the break with you? I certainly hope that's not the case. If so, he's barking up the wrong tree. Ah, he, huh? And here I was thinking I only spend time with cute girls. Well, the bachelor lifestyle isn't easy to keep balanced, but I'll try my best. Oh? Well, today is the last day we'll be in school, so I don't mind. Just try not to forget our plan for Thursday. Wouldn't want you feeling left out after all. That a fact? Monika walks back to where she came from as I send a reply. An overly enthusiastic keeper waits for me by the gate. You're awfully early. That excited to see me? Wouldn't that logic apply more to you? I was the second one here, after all. Don't go getting ahead of yourself. I just wasn't going to run the risk of you getting here first, waiting for 10 seconds and then deciding to leave. That was a good call. Oh, how your words pierce me. Save me the dramatics for after you've told me why I'm here, will ya? Already begging to learn more? Jeez, you can be so demanding, Mark. I was only wondering if you wanted to hang out on Saturday. You're actually asking in advance? Did you finally realize that showing up to a person's house without warning is a huge pain in the ass? Nope, not in the slightest. Tch. I'm only asking because me and the family are going to be out of town all next week. And what kind of man would I be if I didn't spend quality time with the boys before then? You mean boy. You don't have enough friends to pluralize that word. Someone's sassy today. Aren't antisocial types supposed to love being on break? Shouldn't you be jumping for joy right now? Don't worry, I'm jumping on the inside. Whatever that's supposed to be. Anyways, what do you say? Wanna hang out on Saturday? My schedule for the week is mostly clear until next Thursday, so having him come over during the weekend wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, sure, why not? Except, assuming nothing more important comes up, sure, I don't mind. Come on, what could be more important than your best buddy, Kiba? Want a list? Haha. Laugh while you can, because we'll be on my turf come Saturday. Turf? That was my only question, so I'll be seeing you. Gotta go pack up some stuff for my trip next week. Later. Rise. Kiba walks off with a bit more pep than normal. After about 10 minutes, my attention is drawn to the signs of approaching footsteps. Yo. Mark, why are you still here? Monika said you were going to meet with someone. Don't worry, that someone was just Kiba. Said he needed to see my face one more time before the break to avoid becoming distraught. Hehehe. I'm not sure whether to believe that or not. Well, the truth isn't too far off. That aside, isn't there something more important we need to discuss? Her smile becomes more gentle upon realizing my intent. You mean Yuri? Were you able to give her the book? Yeah. Though getting her to accept it was kinda hard. An expected struggle. Yuri doesn't strike me as someone who gracefully accepts the charity of others. Even if it's being offered as part of an apology. How did you get her to relent? Doubled the pestering? Actually, Natsuki lent me a hand. She saw the two of us talking before coming over and demanding Yuri to take it. Guess having someone with no tact around can occasionally be useful. I know she was only trying to help, but it was still kinda scary. What did Yuri say? She apologized, then thanked me, then apologized again. Sounds about right. What about you? Feel any better? I'm hoping the two of us will be able to spend more time together at the festival. That's a good idea. So long as you remember not to go overboard again. Come on, we should start heading home. Right. Having successfully resolved the matter, Sayori wears a big grin as we begin walking. The only thing on my mind when I arrive home is how to spend the break. Outside of the plans I've already made, there will be lots of free time coming up. Coming up with some form of schedule could be useful. Well, I'll be studying. With midterms less than a month away, my priority should be to cover as much material as possible. Using the rest of this evening to draw up a study guide would save me from getting off track for my spinning my tires. Having decided on a general course of action, I begin preparing for a break that will undoubtedly feel way too short. Friday? Saturday. Oh, we just skipped Friday. Kiba's desperation to spend Saturday together comes to mind not long after finishing breakfast. He hasn't messaged or tried calling me yet. Wonder if he's even awake. Not wanting to waste the day adhering to our vague agreements, I dial his number. His voice comes through the line after 2 rings. Oh, we can see his room for the first time. And his casual clothes. So, today's finally the day, huh? I knew you wouldn't be able to resist my offer for long. The irrationality of my actions becomes apparent as I hang up. It's like beep. Bzz, bzz. Incoming call, Kiba. Hello? Don't you think hanging up on someone after calling them is a little rude? Depends on the person. As far as I'm concerned, telemarketers and people named Kiba are fair game. Jeez, talk about not being able to handle a joke. Don't blame me for not noticing jokes when 95% of your personality is gag character. So you're saying it's my fault, even though you're the one with a terrible sense of humor. What was that? I couldn't hear you over the sound of my thumb moving towards the end call button. My bad. That aside, why'd you call me? Huh? Weren't you the one who begged me to spend time with them today? Whoa, you actually remembered? Wait, what do you mean begged? Nothing much. So, what's the plan? Give me some time to get ready. I'll come pick you up in, let's say 30 minutes? Pick me up? What do you... The call ends. I've suddenly got a really bad feeling about this. There's a knock at the front door for 25 minutes later. Yo, you ready to go, Mark? Come on, we'll be late if you don't get a move on. He walks inside, does a 360-degree spin, then begins heading back out. Aren't you forgetting something important? Huh? Am I? Oh right, sorry about that. He bows his head slightly. Good morning, Mark. Chop! I wasn't talking about formalities, you moron. You still haven't told me where we're actually going. He stared at me with a dumb grin while rubbing his head. We're going off to the train station, obviously. Why? To get on a train, duh. Stupid! Hey, why are you... The door is shut and locked behind him after he's been shoved out of the house. Oh, come on, man, I was only joking. He's met with a cold glare as the door is reopened. Where are we going? Well, that's... Kiba, where are we going? On an adventure? Kiba shoves his hand out to prevent the door from being closed once more. Fine, fine, I'll tell you. I was kinda hoping we could maybe go to... Bara? Am I not whispering the important part? AKIHABARA? Well, why? Huh? That's the kind of place you'd enjoy, right? Why go through the trouble of inviting me? Sure, my exposure to manga has increased since joining the literature club. Well, barely. But I'm still nowhere near being an otaku. It's true, but still. The two of us going there together seemed like fun, you know? I'm not saying you have to buy anything or even be interested in the places we go. But we've never done anything like this before. The only time we ever really see each other is outside of school is when I crash here for a while. And since your interests don't really require going anywhere, bringing you to a place I enjoy seemed like a good idea. You're gonna try confessing to me once we get there, right? I'm being serious. Well, I don't necessarily have a problem with going, but you'd be better off asking someone who actually knows more about those kinds of things. Like Natsuki. Oh, would that be a route if you could set up Kiba and Natsuki to end up together? That would be kind of cool. Like I said, most of the stuff there will be completely foreign to me. Don't worry, I'll have enough fun for the both of us. Ugh. If you can have enough fun for 2 people, why bother inviting me in the first place? Little details, Mark, little details. His careless attitude creates some tension in my temples. So, what do you say? Want to tag along? A trip to AKIHABARA. Huh? With Kiba, no less. Well, aside from the fact it's a place I'm neither familiar with nor interested in, there's no reason for me not to... Wait a second, are there any reasons why I should go? The little details, remember? No need to think so much. Now slightly nervous, Kiba walks out the door before motioning for me to follow. You coming? Guess I'm already locked in at this point, huh? Yeah, let's get this over with. The trip to the station took about 10 minutes, while the train ride itself lasted about around 2 hours. Riding into Tokyo isn't anything new to me, but that sadly does little to alleviate my uneasiness. Hey, I remember this downtown background. Reminds me of Blue Skies, which is the first time where I saw it. Finally, I've returned to the home of my people. He stretches out his arms and exclaims this not longer after we've gotten out of the train. What? Not longer than 10 minutes after something, you mean, right? Could you at least wait until we're somewhere less crowded before shouting strange things? Come now, Mark, there's no reason to be embarrassed, for this is the land of opportunity. Did the train transport us to America somehow? Do you think the fare would have been more expensive? Ha, you're hilarious. But now that we're here, there's no time to waste. Are there any places you'd like to go? Is it too soon to say home? Don't be such a buzzkill, we literally haven't done anything yet. Well, that may be true, I'm not exactly fond of crowds like this. Like, completely empty streets. We came to AKIHABARA now at noon on a Saturday. The place being utterly packed shouldn't come as a surprise. You have a point, I wasn't expecting it to be so lively today. So is that like a district of Tokyo or something? Like a famous district that I don't know about? Let's just Google that really quickly. Oh, whoops. AKIHABARA. Yeah. Bara. Oh, apparently I don't have any internet connection somehow, even though I totally do. It says that I'm connected to the internet, but it's not doing anything. Oh, when I return it does work? What the hell? Oh, AKIHABARA, Electric Town, Anime, Massacre? Massacre is the 4th thing that comes up. Okay, yeah, so it is something about Tokyo. It won't let me fucking Google search for some reason, I don't know why. What the fuck? It doesn't... It works fine, but it won't let me Google search. That is very weird. If I open up a new tab... Google is just being weird. Is that what's going on? I don't know what's going on. My phone is being weird, or Google's being weird, one of the two. You have a point. I wasn't expecting it to be so lively today. Wonder if there's an event happening somewhere. He says this with a puzzled look before pulling out his phone. Well, let's head this way for now. We can come back once things have settled down. Following his lead, we begin heading away from the throngs of people. Oh, this is a new background I've never seen before. What the hell does that say? Varbucks coffee? Or Arbucks coffee? Oh yeah, I'd love to go to... It's 24 hours open. I always like to go to... I go there all the time. The two of us end up on the less congested side roads after about 10 minutes of walking. This could be a good place to start, don't you think? Were you planning on coming here, or is this only a substitute for the main street? Both? I don't know anything about this street specifically, but being able to find quality goods on lesser known side paths is part of AKIHABARA's charm. Who knows, my next big score may even be lurking around here. I'm afraid to ask what qualifies as a score for you, but whatever. Anywhere's better than back there. That's the spirit. These things are all about being positive, you know? Does attitude have an effect on purchasing otaku goods? Got any reliable sources? Are you kidding me? I have the best source you could ever ask for. Oh, and who might that be? Me, of course. Ah. Proceeding down the sidewalk, I leave Kiba to bask in his smugness. Already heading off on your own, huh? Looks like somebody finally developed a taste for adventure. Anything that puts more space between us. Hey, wait up! The next hour is spent visiting a variety of the businesses along this unfamiliar street. During which Kiba dragged me into everything from electronic stores to second-hand figurine shops. Reminding him of my stance on these things was tempting, but became difficult after seeing how much he was enjoying himself. Maybe I'm getting soft in my old age. You say something? Only some monologuing. Okay. Oh, here, take a look at this. He pulls out a box out of one of the bags lining his arm. Bought this little beauty from the last store. It was more expensive than I would have liked, but, well, what do you think? A plastic visor covers the front of the box, allowing for a clear look at the figure within. Didn't you say the score was second-hand? This one looks new. Pretty great, huh? That's actually how most stores are here. They might technically be second-hand, but they're still super high quality. Plus, being pre-owned makes them a lot cheaper. Even the ones in perfect condition. I see. Does this qualify as a score then? Well, it's definitely a good find, but I wouldn't quite go that far. A score would be something that you see and go, wow, they have this? Am I dreaming? Have all my good deeds been recognized by the universe? Has God finally acknowledged me? You know, stuff like that. So God and the universe reward good deeds with rare material goods, huh? I have to write that down when I get home. Hilarious, but I was only trying to give an example. Knowing you, you've probably never been excited about buying anything before. Not true. There was that one time my grocery store had a buy one get one free on large egg dozens. Seriously, what are you, my grandmother? Make me deeply uncomfortable if I were. Ugh, this guy's impossible. He lowers his head in dejection. However, barely 5 seconds pass before he springs back up. Wait a second, what about books? Books? You like reading, right? Hasn't there ever been a release where you were like, even though I'm an old codger with the eyes and personality of a dead fish, I'd sure like to read that one. Wasn't part of that impression unnecessary? Which part? Little punk. A title I've been excited about, huh? Now that you mention it, something along those lines happened rather recently. Seriously? Yeah. Hearing that the spiritual successor to The Killing Game was in the works made me kinda glad. The Killing Game, huh? Sounds super edgy, no wonder you felt it so excited. You trying to pick a fight? Not really, just thinking out loud a little. Still, I'm really surprised hearing that you're able to feel anything aside from chronic indifference. Definitely comes off as a shock. Just because other people don't go bouncing off the walls the same way you do doesn't mean they can't feel excitement. And the book itself wasn't what I was looking forward to. What do you mean? After reading the first one, Yuri and I met up in a discussion about it. Chances are we'd do something similar for a sequel as well. No plans have actually been made, but she would probably welcome the idea. Several muscles in Kiba's face begin to twitch. Hold on, perhaps I misunderstood. Are you saying that you're excited about having another discussion with this girl? Essentially? To think my little Mark would grow up so quick. He'll have no use for me soon. Only a matter of time before he leaves the nest. Should have known better than to talk about spending time with girls around him. He stands soaking for a while, before eventually wiping what hopefully aren't real tears from his eyes. Since you're going down the Yuri route... Whoa! It's getting way too meta up here now. Don't break the fourth wall, Kiba. Please stay right there. Stay right the fuck there. Since you're going down the Yuri route, does that mean you can introduce me to the other girls? Are you a moron? Well, sorry, not everyone can be Mr. Popular. How many times do I have to explain? Actually, never mind. This isn't worth the effort. Plus, why do you always act so hopeless when I'm talking about women? Sure, your personality is shit, but you're still a pretty good looking guy. Learn to keep your mouth shut and I'm sure you'll have more luck with 3D girls than someone like me. I had no idea you felt that way, Mark. Sorry, by the way, was that... You have more... Is that like a jab at the player, almost? Sorry, but you can wait... But can you wait for my answer? My heart just isn't ready right now. Answer? The hell does that mean? And why are you blushing? Kiba faces the street while nervously scratching his neck. Oh, that place looks promising. His eyes land on a shop displaying various DVDs and Blu-rays. Can everything be bought digitally nowadays? Why bother going to a video store? Don't underestimate the power of collectors. Sure, watching shows through streaming services may be easier, but nothing beats the feeling of owning a physical copy. Plus, buying both helps support the series. What? Oh, you mean also? Buying also helps support the series. Oh, I didn't realize there was so much nuance to it. That said, sentiment and support doesn't make owning two of the same thing any less redundant. Well, there are other reasons to buy discs. Anyway, I'm gonna go check the place out. Would you mind holding my stuff until we leave? Can I just sit this one out? Carrying all your merchandise through all cramped store like that would be a pain in the ass. Good point. But are you sure you're okay with missing out? I'll survive somehow. In that case, he hands me the bags before starting towards the store. Try not to feel too lonely while I'm gone, alright? As he disappears from sight, my attention is drawn elsewhere. The empty lot next to the building is outfitted with a single bench, which is quickly made good use of by me. Having set the bags down, I lean back in an attempt to get some much needed rest. How can a person still want more stuff after buying all of this? Do Atsuko not possess self-control? My attention stops as a brightly colored bag he got from the books. My attention stops on a brightly colored bag he got from the bookstore we stopped in earlier. I'll peek inside. Would it hurt to know what's popular on the manga scene these days? Knowing more might make handling Natsuki somewhat easier. Hey, see, I can totally set Kiba and Natsuki up for a date. Well, of course Natsuki would object, but you know, like, I'm not gonna say it's a date. Maybe to Kiba, because then he'll just agree straight away. My body shudders the moment I read the cover. My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute first edition. Isn't that an actual series? I do remember having heard a title very similar to this. What the hell? The complex mathematical equations going through my brain attempting to process what I'm looking at causes my head to hurt. Well, I suppose this type of thing isn't too uncommon for the medium. Plus, there's always the possibility that title doesn't accurately reflect the plot. That said, knowing his sister is a good has a good head on her shoulders does make me feel a little better. The two of them were really close. Well, I feel like there'd be some sort of moral obligation to uphold. Wait a second, does he read things like this because they don't get along? Is he so deprived of sibling attention that he resorts to this? I should be ashamed. I spent all this time assuming he was just another irredeemable pervert. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on the guy. So this version doesn't have any censorship, right? You'll be able to see everything? A grimace forms on my face as I hear this from inside the store. Guess you should always trust your gut. Feeling my shoulders go slack, I look back at the cover of the manga. Honestly, hasn't he considered how his sister would feel if she saw this? As the oldest, he's the one responsible for making sure they get along. A stabbing pain runs through my chest, almost causing me to drop the book. Just as my mood begins to deteriorate, a faint buzzing sound fills the air. Incoming call, Sayori. Hello? Hey Mark. Hey, yo Sayori, what's up? My parents just told me they're about to go out on a date night or something, so I was wondering if you wanted to come over. Well, I'm in Tokyo right now. A date night, huh? Glad to see those two are as lovey-dovey as always. But sorry Sayori, I won't be home until later this evening. Huh? Did you go somewhere? You could say that. I'm actually in AKIHABARA right now. Huh? Static is all that comes through the line for a moment. Are you serious? Is there a reason for me to lie? Guess not, I'm just kinda surprised. Since when did you become interested in stuff like that? Never. Someone else brought me here. Huh? Does that mean Natsuki's with you? Natsuki? What are you talking about? Kiba's the one who invited me. Kiba? Oh, Kiba! Right. Of course it was Kiba. Did Sayori just have a nervous breakdown or am I imagining things? Yeah. Why did you think Natsuki was the one with me? Oh, well... She mentioned wanting to go to AKIHABARA recently. Yeah, that's it. That's the reason. Does she not realize how obvious her lying is? Oh well, doubt the actual reason is worth pulling teeth for. If that's what she said, then I'm completely and thoroughly convinced. A sigh of relief comes from her end of the line. So, you probably won't be home anytime soon then, right? Doesn't look that way. Kiba seems pretty enthralled with this place, so I doubt he'll allow an easy escape. Sounds like the two of you are getting along well. As well as usual, I suppose. I'm glad. Did you say something? Nope, not a word. Anyway, sorry again for interrupting your trip. Oh, and try having some fun, would ya? Come back with lots of neat stories, or else I'm gonna stop spoiling you. Yes, ma'am. While I'm here, want me to pick up any souvenirs? Something to spice up your nightlife, perhaps? I don't have one of those. Plus, I'm not sure what people normally buy from AKIHABARA. No one in my family has ever been. I see. In that case, cat ears might be the safest choice. Cat ears? Why those? Figured you'd look cute in them. Not to mention how well they'd suit your character. Cute? Another extended silence. This girl's defense really needs some upgrading. Well, I guess that would be okay. I've never actually owned a pair before. Yeah, I'll be sure to keep an eye out then. We end the call after saying our goodbyes. Was that Sayori? Huh? I turned to see Kiba leaning against the wall while trying his very best to look cool. How long have you been standing there? Since if that's what she said, then I'm completely and thoroughly convinced. Creep. Oh, what do you mean creep? Couldn't you have said something to let me know you were out here? Why bother waiting in silence? And remembering the first thing you heard, word for word, is pretty stalkerish. I thought it'd make for a cool moment. Creep. His head drops in defeat. Does having the time to eavesdrop mean you're ready to go? If so, these are yours. While giving him back the bags, I notice his hands are empty. Not find anything? The opposite, actually. They had so much stuff that deciding on only one thing became impossible. That's probably a blessing given how much you've already bought. Yeah, that's the mindset of an amateur. There's no such thing as too much when you're on my level. Oh? Then I'm going to cut my losses and head home. See you next week. Hold on, we haven't even checked out the main strip yet. Backing on now would only lead to a life of regret. I seriously doubt that. My malcontent does little to prevent him from continuing to drag me along. We found ourselves back on the strip 20 minutes later. To our relief, the crowd from earlier had largely diminished, enabling Kiba to enter rush mode. Within the next hour, we had gone in and out of about a dozen stores. The two of us are now taking a break in a fast food restaurant. Man, I'm totally beat. Who knew there would be so much good stuff on display? Makes me wish I had brought more money. Given the price tag on some of that merchandise, it's probably a good thing you didn't. Good point. Still, you're the thing I'm most surprised by. Didn't think walking around Akiba for 3 hours without buying anything was even possible. Well, it's not as though nothing we came across caught my eye. There was plenty of things that seemed interesting. They just weren't amazing enough for me to rationalize spending money on them. That sounds like something you'd say. So, what's the plan now? Gonna go on an hour-long shopping spree? Actually, and try not to get too excited about this, I figured we'd head home after leaving here. You sure? Huh? It's only 4 o'clock, you know. If you want to stay longer, that's fine. We are on break after all. Well, yeah, but aren't you the one who's been complaining about wanting to leave this whole time? Yes. That said, my desire to leave isn't any stronger now than it was when we first arrived. Which you had no problem ignoring for the last 4 hours. My willingness to get along with the trip catches him by surprise. In that case, how about we rent a room and stay overnight? Wait, where were you going? Wrong, Yor. Words humble me, but having that kind of relationship is impossible. That's not what I meant. We ended up catching the next train to arrive at the station. Kiba then spent the entire ride defending his sexuality. What the fuck? That is a very odd specific comment. Oh, we just skip all the way to here. Okay, so how is this? Overall 15 for Kiba. Alright. Yeah, this is as good a place as any to end it off. So yeah, we spent a Saturday with Kiba, then we skipped a bunch of days. Alright. Yeah, alright. Let's just see where things go next. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Click the like button if you liked it. Subscribe to join the Roman army, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Valente.